you. If that fulfills you, then that's important. But yeah, as far as like, platforms and putting your music out there, it does suck. You have to pay into it, obviously. But that's just the nature of the game. Somebody's on the other side of those companies giving you a service to help you put your music out there. They got to get paid too. So.
SouLivate.
You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's also a good idea, man. Like, let us feel the pain of you not being around for a while, where we're, wetting our pants. Like, bring Eminem back, bro. You know what I'm saying? Come back. You just touched on something really important. I want to get into this because I think this is a very serious topic for the upcoming artists, for the artists that are already even established. Because now there's this whole thing going on between, like, should you drop your music through DistroKid or TuneCore? Should you put it on Spotify, because Spotify is giving you a couple of cents for that play, you know what I'm saying? Or should you go completely independent? And let's say, like, there's a cat out there, he's a completely independent artist. He realized that he should take his music off of Spotify, so he compared it. Like, for 1,000 plays or 1,000 people buying his album on Spotify, he made a couple $100. But if when he did it completely independent, he made a couple $1,000, man. So what do you think, in an environment that we are in today, should we still look towards TuneCore and DistroKid? Should we still be dropping singles or albums on Spotify and iTunes and all of these things? What do you think, man?
I think, well, now generationally, times have changed. It's not like, a lot of people are out there like shopping out CDs and demo tapes to people that they made at their houses, in person. Maybe there are some OG old heads that are out there and doing that stuff, but for the most part, everybody's on the internet pushing their music through content. I think content is really what's taking over the game right now, and it sucks because a lot of artists and people nowadays, they want to just be artists and they want to make the music that they make. So having all these extra steps, especially if you're an independent artist, competing against 8 billion people on planet Earth, it's a lot to do it all yourself. As far as like DSP goes and like Spotify, Apple Music, it's 100% important that you guys have your music out there on platforms, because SoundCloud's starting to die out. That was like kind of like the very big wave of posting music that I feel like it had its phase of time. I mean, it's still around, obviously, and people still get paid from it, but I mean, SoundCloud, you really can't make money on SoundCloud.
There was even a term, SoundCloud rapper, man.
Oh yeah, there was a whole, I mean, that was when Lil Pump and like Smoke Perp, you got X, you got Peep, like even Denzel Curry, I believe, was like a SoundCloud rapper.
Some amazing artists, right?
Yeah, I'm saying that there's definitely some poopers, and then there's a good amount of good ones, but for the most part, as far as SoundCloud goes, like that was like the big trending topic of space to put your music on for nonprofit. And it still is, if you're not trying to make money off of it and you're trying to just share the art, SoundCloud's a great space, but if you're trying to make money with your music, sustain longevity, picking a really good distributor, whether it be TuneCore, CD Baby, DistroKid, United Masters, any of those are great options depending on what you want to do. As far as like payouts too, I mean, I have a chart up right now on my phone and stuff. I mean, their prices are going up. The payouts are slowly getting higher, I believe. It used to be a little bit lower when I was dropping music in like 2018, 2017. But now it's slowly starting to increase. There's been talks too on the internet of like, trying to make everything like $1 minimal or something like that, or like shooting to have it at like $1, but that's going to be a long time before that actually comes. So
Yeah, first of all, I gotta give a shout out to Romaniya, poet, the greatest poet of all time. She just came in the building. My gorgeous wife, man. The book, a journey,
woo!
the book, A Journey Inside, is out on Amazon, man. You gotta go cop it, man.
Go grab
Um,
that shit.
so this is the thing, man. Like, obviously, these platforms, they're important, like even as far as podcasting goes. Like, they took over the industry, Spotify and iTunes and Deezer and all of these different things.
This is SouLivate.
um but first of all, it's so hard to get on those playlists, right?
Yeah. That's
it's,
the challenge.
it's extremely hard. The second thing is, we're forgetting that, yeah, you can record your music at home, but still, to record music, to put out your own projects, you're spending money, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're spending money. So how much of that are you really, expecting to get back when you're just competing, like you said, with 8 billion people on Spotify trying to get on those playlists? What do you think about that, man?
So this is great. So I personally, like, I haven't had a crazy moment in my life of where I personally blew up or I saw, myself seeing, viral aspects, but I've had a lot of friends from artists big and small that have had their moments, and I've talked to them, and I've picked their brain and asked them, like, what did you do differently and all that. So when it comes down to it, I mean, like I kind of said before, like, content is what's driving the internet right now. You got dances, you got videos, you got, fucking sponsorship videos, like affiliate programs, like all of those things exist on the internet. And it's important that people nowadays, if they want to try to take their career seriously, if they're trying to make music a thing, they got to know that in the beginning, you're not making no bread. You're not making no cake.
You're losing bread.
You are losing bread to get started. That's how it goes. You are not going to see a great quote from like Ice Cube. I saw it on a video, but he's like, if you're not willing to put like at least 5 years worth of work without seeing like a single redemption of payment back from you, don't even get started, because it's not possible. You can make some profit. You know what I'm saying? You can find different ways. Maybe you sell merchandise, maybe you end up doing sponsorships. Like maybe if you gain like internet traction for your page and, can you put my wristband on and show it on a video? Like,
Yeah.
stuff like that. You can get paid for that. There is ways to make money, but half the time when it comes to the music paying out, unless you're with a label situation and there's a huge budget behind you, the streaming aspects, you're not going to make a lot of money. You're going to do a lot better as an independent artist, playing shows, selling merch, collaborating with other people, doing features for people. If you're an artist, if you're a rapper, singer, band, whatever, freelance work, any of those types of things is how you make your money. And that's if you're trying to do it for a sustainable cause. Now, some people genuinely just like to do music because they just like to do music. They don't care about the money.
That's me, right? Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I second that. So that's obviously a different side of the spectrum where, like, again, like you can play, it's kind of like people that go to the casino. There's a chance you could win. There's a chance you could lose. I mean, a lot of times, a lot of people lose, but there might not be that one chance that wins. You go to the casino, you gamble, but you have a good time because it's in good fun. It's the same idea with music. Like, if you don't kind of go in with that mindset of like, I'm doing this for me, I'm doing music for me. Yeah, I'll pay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I get to make the art and express the way I want. At the end of the day, you won. You know what I'm saying? That's fulfilling you. If that fulfills you, then that's important. But yeah, as far as like, platforms and putting your music out there, it does suck. You have to pay into it, obviously. But that's just the nature of the game. Somebody's on the other side of those companies giving you a service to help you put your music out there. They got to get paid too. So,
but do you think, because like obviously there is, but do you think that there is a strategy for becoming successful on Spotify and iTunes, or have industries kind of took over that field and they're dumbing down independent artists, man?
ooh, this is a fantastic. I love this. This is a great question. I think I have two opinions on this. I feel like depending on how smart you get and how creative you get, you can make your own strategy. if that makes sense. You can take up on your own ideas and turn that into success. If you solely believe in that, if you believe that playing enough shows and getting in front of people's faces is going to make your music stretch farther, then believe that. I think if you solely believe in that and you really buckle into it, it could work. You know what I'm saying? If you're also the type of guy where you're like, I know for a fact in my way of thinking that if I don't know, drop a band on Spotify, you know, curators to put me in front of people, I'm going to gain some traction back. I'm going to lose money. I might not win all my money back from it, but I'm going to get some traction from people, and that's going to give me some people for the future, you know, future investments. So I think strategically it's different for everybody. You know, I obviously have been around some relatively indie to major label situations, and I will say there's always going to be things that these big dogs gatekeep that we will never know about. Even Snoop Dogg said it. He was like, dude, it's way different being an independent artist, you know, trying to make it big. You know, you look at Joyner Lucas or, you know, any of these other big cats that are independent, Chance the Rapper from initials standpoints. And it's not the same. You know, you're working with a company that, you know, is global, you know, global music industry. Like
it's a machine, man. Yeah.
It's right. So if you're working with the machine was going to help you. Obviously, there are going to be some downsides to it, payout wise, and like, you know, I got to owe people this, I got to pay back that through what else I do here. But if you're trying to take your career to the next level, like, as much as people want to hate on labels, dude, respectfully, they got the sauce for it. Unless you work at a label and then you dip out and then you go reveal that shit, you paying in, brother. You're signing a contract, or you fucking, you know, somebody that works for those places that can help you.
I'm just gonna send out a warning shot right now, because you mentioned playlist curators.
Yeah.
Please be careful. There's a lot of companies out there that will take your bread gladly and will not show any results. Also, what TuneCore has been doing lately, because I tried one of these playlist curators, I started to get a lot of plays on one of the singles. And then Spotify sends me a warning saying that, look, we're seeing that it's kind of bots activity or whatever, man. And you know,
from TuneCore.
Yeah, well, it came from Spotify. This is the funny thing. TuneCore didn't say anything.
Really?
So I'm like, what are they doing, man? And I went on YouTube. It turns out they're doing this to a lot of people, man. So I don't know. You see that, like, yeah, that's another, like,
that's
you know what I mean? So that leads me to my next question.
Yes. This is fun.
I love picking your brain like this, man.
I love talking about this stuff. I could talk about this for days.
Because you did kind of just mention it. But in our day and age, is it still a good idea to want to get signed, or is it just better overall as far as an artist, as far as how much money you're going to make, as far as creative processes, stay independent or sign to a label, man?
This is SouLivate.